They passed away, and before they left this world, they asked heaven to make sure you received this message. I know that sentence just stopped your heart for a second. I know it brought a face to your mind immediately. Someone specific, someone whose absence has left a hole in your life that nothing and nobody has been able to fill since the day they were gone. Maybe it has been years. Maybe it has only been months. Maybe the grief is so fresh that some mornings you still reach for your phone to call them before your brain catches up with your heart and reminds you all over again that the call will not go through. Whatever the timeline is and whoever the face is that appeared in your mind the moment you read those first words, that is not a coincidence. That is exactly who this message is from. And I am Archangel Michael, and I was given one specific assignment today by the God who holds both the living and the departed in his hands, to make sure that what they left behind for you finally reaches you before another day passes without you knowing what they needed you to hear. The person you are thinking of right now did not leave this world with unfinished business between you and them the way that fear has been whispering to you in the quiet moments since they passed. I need you to hear that clearly and let it go all the way down to the place inside you where guilt has been living since the day of their passing. The things you said and the things you did not say, the visits you meant to make and kept postponing, the conversations you planned to have someday when the timing was better and then someday never came. The last call that went to voicemail that you have replayed in your mind more times than you can count, wondering if they knew how much you loved them even through all the imperfection of how you love them. They knew. They have always known. And one of the first things they want you to receive from this message today is the freedom from the weight of everything you have been carrying since they left, because that weight was never yours to carry, and they would not want a single day of the life you still have left to be spent bent under the burden of it. Where they are now, there is no pain. I want to describe that to you not as a religious platitude that people say at funerals, because they do not know what else to offer, but as a literal reality that I have witnessed with my own eyes in a realm that exists just beyond the edge of what your physical senses can detect. The suffering is gone. Every limitation that the body placed on them, every ache, every illness, every heaviness that accumulated in them over the years of living in a world that is hard on human beings, all of it dissolved in the moment they crossed over, and what remained was the purest version of who they always were underneath everything this world put them through. The version of them that existed before life got to them. The version that laughed easily and loved deeply and saw the world with a clarity that most of us spend our whole lives trying to find. That is who they are now. Whole, complete, more themselves than they were able to be here. And they are watching you with eyes that are no longer clouded by worry or pain or the limitations of a human perspective. And what they see when they look at your life right now is someone they love completely who is carrying far too much and needs to hear what they left behind before it is too late for it to do what it was meant to do. The message they left for you is not complicated. It does not require a theology degree to receive, and it does not come wrapped in religious language that creates distance between you and the truth of it. It is simple the way the most important things always are. When you strip away everything unnecessary and get down to what actually matters between two people who loved each other. They want you to stop punishing yourself. That is the first and the most urgent part of what they left. whatever story you have been telling yourself about what you should have done differently, whatever version of the past you keep revisiting and revising in your mind, looking for the moment where you could have changed the outcome, whatever guilt has been sitting at your kitchen table every morning, eating breakfast with you and following you into every room of your life, since they passed, they are asking you directly today to put it down, not because you were perfect, not because there is nothing you would do differently if you had the chance, but because staying bent under that weight is not honoring their memory. It is wasting the life they would give anything to still be living. And nothing they ever felt for you while they were here would want that for the years you have remaining. They also want you to know that the things you prayed for together, the dreams you shared, the hopes you talked about in the private conversations that nobody else was part of, the future you both believed was possible, even when circumstances made it look unlikely, those prayers did not die when they did. They carried those prayers with them, and they placed them directly into the hands of God, and they asked Him personally to bring them to pass in your life, even in their absence, especially in their absence, because the love they had for you did not stop operating on your behalf the moment their heart stopped beating. Love that real does not have an off switch. It does not respect the boundary between this world and the next, and the specific things that were on their heart for your life, the provision they wanted you to have, the healing they prayed over you in the moments when you did not even know you were being prayed for, the success they always believed you were capable of, even in the seasons when you stopped believing it yourself. All of that is still active, still moving, still being worked out by a God who keeps His promises to the living and the departed alike, and who does not let the faith of someone who loved you go to waste just because they are no longer physically present to see the answer arrive. I need to tell you something about grief that nobody in your life has probably been honest enough to say to you, because people who love you do not want to cause you more pain than you are already in. The way you have been grieving is costing you more than just peace. It is costing you presence. Every day that you spend living primarily in the past, in the memories and the regrets and the constant silent conversation you keep having with someone who is no longer in the room, is a day that you are not fully alive in the life that is still happening around you. And the person you are grieving would be heartbroken if they knew that their passing had taken not just their own life, but effectively yours as well. They did not leave you so that you could stop living. They left in the way that all of us eventually leave, so that the love they had for you could take a different form, a form that watches instead of walks beside you, a form that intercedes instead of converses, a form that trusts God with your future in a way they could never fully do while they were still here, worrying about you the way people worry about the ones they love. They are not worried anymore. They can see what is coming for your life in a way that they never could from this side. And what they can see is so good, so beyond what you have been allowing yourself to hope for, that they are not mourning. They are anticipating. They are waiting for the moment when you finally see what they can already see. And the grief on your face is replaced by the joy that was always supposed to be the dominant expression of a life as loved as yours. The last thing they left for you, the final piece of the message that they asked me to make certain reached you today, is this: they are proud of you. Not proud of you in spite of everything you have been through. Proud of you because of it. Proud of the way you loved them even when love was inconvenient and complicated and sometimes painful. Proud of the way you have kept going since they left, even on the days when keeping going was the hardest thing you had ever been asked to do. Proud of who you are becoming through the process of learning to carry loss without letting the loss define you. They see the full version of you, not just the person you show the world, but the person you are in the private moments when no one is watching. And they love every part of it with a completeness that could only come from a place where love is no longer limited by human fear and human pride and human selfishness. They love you fully, finally, from a place where nothing gets in the way of it anymore, and they will be watching on the day when your life breaks open into everything it was always meant to be. And when that day comes, they will not be surprised, because they could always see it. They saw it before you did, and they never once stopped believing in it, even for a single moment. If the face of someone you have lost came to your mind today, if your chest is tight right now and your eyes are full and something in you cracked open in a way that surprised you, do not scroll past this moment in silence. Type the first name of the person you lost in the comments below, and let this be the moment you honor them by receiving the message they left. Just their name. Nothing else needs to be said. Because the moment you type it, you're telling heaven that you received it, and you're telling the person you love that their last message finally arrived. Share this with someone who is grieving today, because someone in your life right now is carrying exactly this weight alone, and they need to know that the people they have lost have not stopped loving them from the other side. This message found you for a reason, and so did the person who came to your mind the moment it started.